I want to talk about one of the new trends that we're seeing in the industry today is that building permits are not just a West Coast thing. Now we're seeing more and more municipalities all over the country requiring these same permits that we used to have just on the West Coast, and you as an owner need to be aware of this. If you start a job and don't have permits in place, the building inspector can come in, shut the job down, red tag it, and you can't open your facility on time. There are a few things that I'd like you to think about when you're setting up your facility these days. The story I like to tell is a couple of years ago I had a colleague come up and say, "John, you're an engineer. Can't you just look at the rack and tell it's safe?" And I said, "What are you talking about? The only way that I can tell that the rack system is safe is I have to have the drawings, I have to look at the elevations, I have to see the calculations to make sure that a qualified engineer has designed it. Then we can start talking about safety." In 2012, there was a major change in the international building codes. And it's basically, a lot of old rack systems don't calc anymore. So it's very important before you go and bring that old system over, or you buy some used rack, that you have a qualified engineer evaluate the system for the current load, the current building, to make sure that it meets all the requirement. Another thing we found with the newer rack systems is you can't bring the racks in as close to the building columns as you used to be able to. We used to be able to bring them in a couple of inches away, but now they're requiring sometimes 18, 20 inches of space to allow for the difference of the swing of the building versus the rack system. So again, make sure your engineer has checked all of that before you get started.